Guys, today we've got the Jordan 4 White Cement coming back. We're getting both a Nike SB Air Force 1 and a Nike SB Air Max 95. And discounted Yeezys are about to be everywhere. Welcome to Sneaky Sundays. Let's kick this off with a little release recap. And of course, we got to talk about the ALD New Balance 1000 collection. All three pairs dropped, I believe, on the 5th. All three pairs sold out, and I was after that white one. Then, of course, we had a ton of Yeezys dropping throughout the week. This was a look at June 3rd, all of the pairs that dropped. Let me know if you picked up any of these. If you caught yesterday's video, you know already what I picked up. Then we had the June 4th drop, the June 6th drop, which was pretty crazy. I heard you guys out in the US let the knit runner boots sit. And then, of course, we had the Yeezy discounts. They first started popping up at various different outlet stores. I think the first place everybody saw them was out in Dubai. However, this quickly spread globally, and pretty much every Adidas outlet was stocking Yeezys. We're talking UK, EU, US, like everywhere. After they threw all of these Yeezys at the outlet, they also discounted pairs online. So they had 50% markdown on pairs like the Yeezy Quantum, the MNVNs, the 450s, the 380s, and of course the compacts. I actually picked up a couple pairs of these if you want to check them out, yesterday's video. So we've got Yeezys at the outlet, Yeezys discounted online, all 50% off. So let me know if you picked up any discounted Yeezys, because I think it's a huge W grabbing them at 50% off. It is a wild time to be in the sneaker game. Let's hop into this upcoming stuff. I want to kick this off with a couple release reminders and updates that we had. It's looking like the next couple weeks is going to be slammed. First one, the brand new Air Jordan 3 Quai 54. These have loaded up on the Nike sneakers app here in the EU. This is looking like a very solid pair of Jordan 3s. Like, it's a nice colorway. They went very subtle with it, and it looks like it's a decent pickup. Not entirely sure if they've loaded for you guys out in the US just yet, but these should be dropping June the 10th. Something that is dropping for you guys out in the US is the Air Jordan 4 Oxidized Green. So we originally thought they were going to be dropping in July. However, we now know, because they've loaded up to the Nike sneakers app, they're going to be dropping June the 15th. These have already released here in the EU and the UK, and I picked them up a while ago. I think it's a really solid pair of 4s. Like, the quality is good, the colorway is good, it's all round a decent pair. Next update is the Artifact Nike Dunk Genesis Void. This was originally supposed to drop on the 13th. However, now we know, again, because they just loaded up to the Nike sneakers app, that's happening on June the 21st. So here's a little look at them over there on the Nike sneakers app. They retail for $222, and apparently they're going to be limited to just 1,000 pairs. That is unfortunate, because I definitely want to check these things out. I'd love to get my hands on a pair, but at the same time, they're also only loaded up on the Nike sneakers app out in the US. If it is a global release, maybe other markets have just yet to load them up, so we'll have to wait and see. We also got a new release date for the Huff Nike Air Max 1 collaboration. So specifically this green pair, that's the only one that's going to be dropping on the Nike sneakers app. Apparently, according to Sneaker News, they said over here that the Huff Nike Air Max 1 is set to return on May the 15th. So did that happen, or was that like a Huff exclusive? Because I didn't hear about it. Either way, the green pair is still going to be up for grabs. Again, Nike sneakers app, $160, June the 22nd, and they're already loaded. Next update, which is actually a sneaker that's right on time, unlike the other ones chopping and changing. We've got the Chanel Abney Air Jordan 3 Bi-Coastal colorway. So these are finally loaded up, and there is official images. They're going to be dropping alongside an entire clothing collection, which looks pretty decent as well. That's all happening on June the 20th. I'm definitely going to be after these things. I really do want to check them out. I think it's a very interesting pair of 3s at least. I also happen to think that the colorway, the materials, and the details on it are really nice. Sticking with 3s, we also got an update on the Ma Manieres that are going to be dropping. We've also got some better images as well, so these things are looking buttery smooth in the leather department and the suede department as well. You got that quilted sock liner, which is raw edge. They look exactly like an Ma Maniere pair of 3s would look. Like, it's really nothing too different. They're not really straying from what we're typically used to when it comes to an Ma Maniere collaboration. You got the sail tones, the quality with the materials, and of course that classic burgundy color. They're definitely looking clean, but I think with the fact that we know that we're getting some upcoming 4s as well, maybe people are going to be a little bit more interested in that. Nevertheless, the new release date for these things is going to be July the 18th. We got our very first looks at an upcoming Bad Bunny Adidas Gazelle collaboration. This one's called the San Juan. This is literally the only image that we have of him holding it up over here. It's very, very what we would expect, like nothing too crazy going on here. Now, we did see leaks of the original colorway, or the first one that was basically black and white, a very like Gazelle original. However, this one mixes it up a little bit in the color department, which is not bad. I don't think this is a bad sneaker. I think it's actually pretty interesting with the added details of like the little tag on the back. For better or for worse, it's still an interesting detail. Obviously, we don't have any images of that over here, but apparently these are going to be dropping on June the 23rd, so right around the corner. Got a new pair of Fear of Gods coming up. This right over here is the Adidas Fear of Gods Athletic 1 model, they're calling it. This is the black toe colorway, I guess. They're calling it black toe, but I mean, it literally does have a black toe, and then the rest of the shoe is like this minty greenish color, almost like a salt. If you think of like the salt Yeezys, it's pretty much that colorway. Now, honestly, it feels like it's been a minute since we had a new colorway on this model. I think the last one was the clay one, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they're still pumping out different colorways on this silhouette. I think it's a good model. $250 is a bit of a steep ask. Now, for this one, we do not have a release date, but I think it's high time that we see another capsule collection from Adidas and Fear of God. Nike's going to be dropping a brand new Air Max called the Portal. It's debuting this fall season, and we've got a bunch of different colorways over here. I like this blue one a lot. I think that looks really, really cool. However, there's something about this silhouette that's like, obviously it's made for women, and they made that midsole just so thick it kind of looks like a platform shoe. I wish they made a men's version that was just a slightly, you know, more regular midsole, because other than that, I think this is a really good looking pair of sneakers. They're going to retail for just $110, which seems pretty fair. This looks like a pair of shoes that would cost a lot more from Nike. A somewhat similar design, but it is a retro model that's going to be returning. The Nike Air Max Craze is dropping in 2025. So this is an old Nike model from the 2000s. I don't actually remember it, but it's definitely interesting to say the least. It has like a mule sandal style design at the back, almost like a pair of Crocs. However, the rest of the shoe is very much like an Air Max sneaker with I guess like a little zip enclosure for the laces, which I think kind of looks cool. Now, the pair you're looking at is one of the older ones, the 2000s pair, but I think they're going to be updating it, maybe just in terms of colorways, probably bring back an OG one. Either way, we don't have any specific release date or specific colorways or anything like that. Just take a look at these and know they're dropping next year. Speaking of some other things that are dropping next year, Nike's basically going to be doing what they did with the Jordan 4s, the Nike SBs, and then turning it on a bunch of their other sneaker models, starting with one of the world's most popular shoes, the Air Force 1. And actually, this could be pretty cool. If they did what they did to the Jordan 4s, they basically just made it like more comfortable, better to walk around in, and slightly change a few things like the padding and some of the materials. But as of right now, this is the only sample that we have seen. So you can see you got the Nike SB branding on the tongue, and then this weird mix of what looks like it's cutaway material, which if that is the case, I mean, it would kind of make sense. They love doing that with Nike SB Dunks, where they have some kind of cutaway or wear away materials that you kind of peel down once you start skating in them. Now, you can't really see anything different with the midsole or anything like that. This is a sample, and they're probably going to go through a few different iterations. The actual shoe that drops in 2025 could look nothing like this, but as of right now, this is the best we've got, and I've got to be honest, it looks relatively plain. Now, Nike's not just doing an SB on the Air Forces, they're also going to be doing an Air Max 95, which in my opinion, I think could even be more interesting. Now, unlike the Air Forces, we do not have like a sample image of these, but we imagine, considering how they've done these crossover sneakers in the past, they don't change all that much. They kind of keep it pretty simple, which I think is a nice thing. Like, don't change it up too much. But I also wonder if this crossover thing is something that's going to work for other silhouettes, or was it just something that really slapped with the Jordan 4? It'll be very interesting to know, but yeah, let me know what you think about a Nike SB Air Max 95 and an Air Force 1. Drop your thoughts in the comments. But an even bigger 2025 release is the Air Jordan 4 White Cement. That's right, well, apparently we're supposed to be getting the OG White Cements back next year. Now, I don't want to get your hopes up too much. I do want to state that this information is based off of the color code of a pair of Jordan 4s dropping spring summer 25 with the color code Summit White, Fire Red, Tech gray, black. Now that is a listing that would make sense for a white cement. That's why they're kind of going with it, but it's not yet confirmed whether it's going to be an OG release, kind of like the military blues, or if it's going to be a reimagined release. Now, another thing to add a little bit more fuel to the fire on this one, apparently this pair of Jordan 4s also shares the same SKU details as the Air Jordan 4 Bread Reimagined, the Air Jordan 4 Military Blue, so it's likely too that these will have the Nike Air branding and be OG in inspiration. However, because they adjusted the colors from OG cement gray to white and tech gray, it's most likely that these are probably going to be a reimagined release. But again, we'll have to wait and see. This is only a spring summer 25 release, but I know a lot of people would love to grab a pair of these things. I think the last time they dropped these like a retro was 2015. Let me know if you need a fresh pair of brand new white cements. If there's any more updates, if we get any more images, I will let you guys know. So as we know, next year is going to be a pretty big year for the Air Jordan 5. We're getting the black metallics back. However, that's not the only OG coming back. We're also going to be getting the Air Jordan 5 grape colorway dropping next year. So this is also going to be another spring summer release in 2025. We don't have a specific time frame, but yeah, the grape 5s are apparently coming back. We got some brand new images and a release date for the upcoming Travis Scott Jordan Jumpman Jack Dark Mocha. A lot of people are anticipating this one because pretty much nobody managed to get their hands on the sale or the University Red colorway of these Jumpman Jacks. So this is like the next shot at potentially trying out this sneaker model. Now, I will say that this colorway is pretty damn good as well. Like if you take a look at these images in the light of day, you can tell that this mocha color I think is really pleasant, especially mixed with that black canvas. Now I actually do really like the Jumpman Jack model. I think some of the colorways are a little bit of a miss, but if you take a look at like the sale ones are really nice, University Red ones are not bad, these are really nice as well. So I think as they drop more and more of these colorways, it's only going to get more and more affordable. So I think right now it's just super inflated just because of how limited the first ones were. Now in terms of a release date, apparently these are going to be dropping October the 4th. Here's an interesting pair for next year, the Air Jordan 3 Hydrogen Blue, which is going to be some kind of like very light blue color. It looks like it's going to have pretty nice like elephant print if it does look like this, very nice and bright. Solid pair for the first Jordan 3 of the year, I assume. January 25th, apparently these are going to be dropping. We got our first looks at the upcoming Joe Fresh Goods New Balance 990 V6. This is the Made in USA red colorway dropping August 2024. Looking, yeah, probably not one that I would pick up, just an all over red colorway. Like I know it's the whole collaboration thing, but yeah, not really my favorite color. Like I wouldn't buy these as a GR, so I'm still not going to buy them as a collaboration. When it comes to a New Balance collab, there's not really much that they change in terms of the general design. Usually it's just like added really nice colorways or material, but this one just keeps it pretty simple, at least from this first image. Either way, this is again, like I said, we don't have a specific release date in August, just at some time in August. Oh yeah, and we also just got official images of the upcoming Verdy Nike SB Dunk Low. This is called the Visti colorway, and I will say these are turning out to be a very hyped up sneaker. I've seen so many people talking about these things. Now with official images and these supposed to be dropping this summertime, I would imagine these drop at any point very soon. If it's not this month, it will most likely be in July. So as you can see from the official images, they are very colorful, a lot of pastel, and then to top that all off, you've got a very furry upper, at least for like the base paneling. You got some corduroy around the back, some little additional tags, which is pretty cool, and they are going to come in a full family size run, so you're also getting like kids and toddlers as well. I do really like the look of these things. They look pretty cool, but probably not something that I would wear on a very regular basis, if ever. Right, we got a little bit of Yeezy news. So the first one is that Adidas' CEO Bjorn Gulden came out and basically spoke about the whole Yeezy situation a little bit. Now he said the company has around 200 million euros worth of Yeezys left, and they plan to sell these Yeezys at cost over the next 3 quarters. So obviously we were all a little bit confused because we assumed, considering how many Yeezys Adidas is dropping right now, that this was going to be the last drop ever. However, with them saying that they're going to be selling them over the next 3 quarters, meaning the rest of the year, it seems like they might have a lot more than we originally thought. So this is a good conclusion, I guess. It probably means that the first 3 quarters of 2024, so this would end by September. I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, Adidas has been pretty aggressive aggressive by discounting Yeezys at 50% off straight away to try and just get rid of as many pairs as possible. So it does seem like throughout the next, whether it ends in June or whether they extend it a couple months, it does seem like this is going to be the final release, if you could kind of extend it till September. Now, I can't imagine that they have any more massive releases left. I think we've seen most of the biggest ones, or we will see throughout June. I mean, we had Pirate Blacks, we had Knit Runners, we're getting like 700 Wave Runners and stuff like that. Those are the heavy hitters that they know they can easily sell at full retail price. However, some of the other stuff, which I expect is a lot of the stuff that they have, is some of the stuff that they're probably going to have to discount, like these compacts, these 380s, these MNVNs, and even a lot of these 350s as well. Like the Statics, the Carbon Belugas, there's still plenty of these, so I would imagine they start discounting a lot of the stuff that you can see on the website right now that hasn't sold out. So if I had to make an educated guess, they're probably dropping as much as they can that they know they can sell over this period right now in June, and whatever's left over they're going to be selling at cost, which means discounting them, sending them to outlets, putting them at a discount online. Like, yeah, I mean, there's still a ton of stuff left. These 500s I think are still available, at least some of the smaller sizes. Even the utility blacks, there's a few left, I believe, just a couple sizes, nothing too crazy. Some stuff like this they can leave full price and it's probably gonna go. So yeah, we've still got quite a few drops left in addition to just what's on Yeezy's website right now. The next one is actually happening tomorrow, so I will remind you of that. June the 10th, we're getting all of these slides and foam runners. The release might be a little bit different from region to region. The very next day after that, June the 11th, we're getting these three pairs: the insulated boot, the sand foam runner, which is crazy, and the turtle doves. I would imagine these insulated boots are going to be US exclusive, just like the knit runners were, because that's how they originally released. So did this one. June 13th, we're getting the wave runners and the 450 slides, and then another, I think this is the desert sand foam runner as well. So there's all of these drops, and I would imagine peppered throughout there we'll see some additional Yeezy styles go on sale at a discount. Let me know what Yeezys you managed to pick up and if you're still after any other pairs. Final story for today. This one is an absolute wild card. It's hardly even sneaker news, but read this headline. Divers find $1 million worth of Nike SB branded cocaine in Florida. What in the world is happening right now? This is weird, wild. What is even going on? Like, this has got to be one of the most bizarre things I have ever seen. Like, there's so many unanswered questions. Why the hell are they Nike SB branded? Why not just like Nike branded? Why like specifically Nike SB? And this article does not answer any of those questions. It just says that the US Border Patrol Miami sector informed NBC South Florida News that the packages held 66 pounds of cocaine valued at over $1 million. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office reported that the deputies have handed over the suspected drugs to the US Border Patrol. So there you have it. 2024, we have Nike drugs. We do this every single Sunday, so make sure you subscribe to the channel to join me every single week, and you can stay updated with the latest sneaker news, sneaker releases. And if you want to check out every single Yeezy from Drop 1, click that video right over there.